Are we ready for today's word of the day? Ready for today's word of the day? Today's word of the day is, repeat after me, dichotomy. Dichotomy. Today's word of the day is dichotomy. How do you spell dichotomy? D-I-C-H-O-T-O-M-Y. What's today's word of the day? Dichotomy. What in the world is a dichotomy? Is that a word you've used yet this morning? Sure, I've used it 3 times already today. If so, you are good. So what is a dichotomy? A dichotomy is simply a fancy word for opposites. When we set 2 things up as opposites, that's a dichotomy. 2 things set as opposites, that's a dichotomy. Think for a moment, what are some dichotomies, some opposites in this world? Turn to the person beside you and share with them the first set of opposites that come to mind. The first set of opposites that come to mind? What are some opposites? Should we shout some of them out? What did we hear? Good and bad. Good start. Me and my sister, we are opposites. I like that. That's cute, right? Me and my siblings, we are so opposite. Other opposites, good, bad, night and day. Ooh, they're like night and day, right? That's a dichotomy, right? Right and wrong. Cold and hot. Up and, oh, you got it. What's today's word of the day? Dichotomy. In the ancient mind, everything was a dichotomy. Everything was opposites. And so they started to divide the world into different baskets or into different boxes, right? Either it was good or it was bad. There was nothing in between. It went into one of those 2 boxes. Yikes. Right? There was no gray in the ancient world. Huh. And one of those dichotomies that we see in today's first reading is up and down. Did you notice that? How God created all the things that are up, because when you start separating things into separate boxes or baskets, then one of them has to be good and one of them has to be bad. So if there's up and there's down, you tell me which is good and which is bad. Up is good guess. Good guess. Up is good and down is bad. So if you are good at the end of your life, you're going to go, and that's where we imagine heaven to be. We didn't quite get the concept of a round world yet, where up for the people on the other side of the world is actually in the other direction. But we thought that up is good. After I die, I want to go up to heaven. And if you're bad, where are you going? Down. What's the word that we use in today's first reading? Down to what? The netherworld. Don't you love that scary stuff? The netherworld, right? Up or down? Which direction are you going? So pause for a moment to think about the English language, because there are different words and phrases that we use in the English language that talk about going up and going down, about lifting people up, or what's the opposite? Putting people down. Should you stop to think a moment of those people who helped to lift us up? Stop and think for a moment of the people who put you down. Yikes, we probably don't have a warm spot in our heart for those people, amen? But what about the spot in our heart for those people who helped to pick us up? Did we all get a purple piece of paper in today's math program? Grab a pen quickly. See how quickly you can think of 1 or 2 or 3 or 5 people who influenced your life. Who have been the most influential people in your life? Think about that for a moment. It could be people who are living now. It could be people from your childhood. Who are some of the most influential people in your life? In your life. In your life, who have been some of the most influential people? Are you brave enough to reach out to that person beside you, in front of you, behind you, and tell them who one of the most influential people has been in your life? Go ahead, tell the person beside you. Who have been some of the influential people in your life? Can you name a person? Can you think of some of the people who have been influential in your life? Because what did those people do? Those are people who helped to raise you up, right? The song that I was singing in my car this morning on my way here, maybe you've heard it before. You raise me up. Isn't that what those people have done for us in our lives? They've helped to raise us up. They're not people who put us down. They're people who raise us up. In today's gospel, we have a story of Jesus doing what to a little girl? Raising her up. Not putting her down, right? The first reading says, it's Satan, it's death that puts us down. But the good news is that's not the end of the story. Even after Satan puts you down, even after death puts you down, Jesus is going to do what? Going to raise you up. And that's what we see happening in today's gospel. Jesus comes along to a girl that they thought was dead, and he raises her up. Are we following in the footsteps of Jesus? Are we raising others up? And, or can you think of anyone that you've put down recently? And when I say put down, sometimes we don't even mean it, right? There are times when we say things and do things, and without even thinking about it, it has affected that person in a way that we didn't intend. Now that you've thought about those people that have influenced your life, think about this for a moment. Who are the lives that you want to be influencing? The people that you want to be lifting up in a special way. The people who, if they were to write their list of the top 5 most influential people, you'd be on their list. Ooh. Have you lived your life in such a way that someone could be putting your name on their list? Are you living your life in such a way that you might hashtag make the list? Brothers and sisters, I suspect that today's gospel has everything to do with us lifting up others. Did we hear today's second reading from Paul's letter to the Corinthians? In his second letter to the Corinthians, Paul talks about how it is that some people are up here and some people are down here. But wouldn't it be cool if some of us who are up here shared some of what we had with those who are down there to help fill in their needs and to be able to help raise them up? Wouldn't that be cool? Can you think of ways this week in which you might be able to take what you have and use that to lift others up? Your time, all it takes is a smile to lift a person up, amen? It doesn't take a lot. It doesn't take a lot of money to raise a person up with a smile, amen? Should we try it? Turn to the person beside you and give them the biggest smile you can manage right now. It doesn't take a lot to lift another person, to lift another person's spirit. It doesn't take a lot at all. Brothers and sisters, this week, let's find ourselves being more and more like Jesus, helping to lift others up through what we say, through what we do. Let's stop using our words and actions to put them down. It's time for us to hashtag make the list of those who've been influential in the lives of others, of those who help to raise people up.